Hello, welcome to the True Mind Tarot channel. My name is Julie. I am recording a video because I feel like there's something going on between the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. I mean, there's always something going on, but I feel like there's a lot of shifting happening. Yesterday I did a reading. And there was a message that I couldn't share on the Instagram post because I just felt there was no space for it. And now I like to share it because the image that came up was that both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine are like they're close together, but they're still holding back. The Divine Feminine is afraid and is still keeping up a shield energetically. And the Divine Masculine wants to join her, but is afraid that she'll bite. That was like a just kind of snap, like a crocodile or a cat or a lion. Well, there's quite a difference between a cat and a crocodile. Anyway, so both those the shielding from the feminine is coming from core wounding, and the same like the insecurity that is coming that is present with the Divine Masculine is also coming from his core wounding. And I'm saying his and her, of course, this is all. It's not about gender, this is about energy, and each of us are operating within these energies. They can be either distorted or balanced and divine. And what do I want to say? Yeah, so it may be that like at the moment, if we're just looking at ourselves in the current situation, it may feel that we have these conflicting energies within ourselves. And that may be in some way we may feel like we need to be acting, and at the other hand we may feel like we need to protect ourselves and take care of ourselves. And then when we don't act or when we don't take care of ourselves, then probably most likely there's a whole range of negative self-talk coming up, telling you that you are wasting your time, that you're supposed to be doing things, that everyone else in the world knows what their calling is except you. Feeling guilty about not protesting or being more vocal on Instagram, or I don't know, I'm just naming a couple of things. So I really like to and they are really so like, it feels like like these two Lego pieces, and they're about to click but they're not quite clicking yet, and that is because of those internal wounding that still needs some attention. So since they're both wounded, they both need to heal. And I feel like from the masculine side of us, that means to just hold off a little bit, just push on the brake a little bit in regards to outward action. And from the feminine within us, it feels like really softening and open our hearts and be open to receive care, love, nourishment. And once that is healed, that is healing both the feminine and both the feminine. That's funny, both the feminine and the feminine and the masculine. And from there you'll be able to operate it from a much more balanced space. And that's also where, if you really take out the root wounding, then that's where like the divine masculine and divine feminine start to dance and cooperate together, and then it becomes really divine, right? And it becomes like that unity consciousness. Also, okay, let's draw some cards. Gonna go intuitively, see how this goes. What date is today? I just feel called to do it, so I'm just gonna call it an energy shift. I think we're halfway June, 10th of June. We've just had a Six of Wands coming out. We just had an eclipse. We're moving towards the new moon. We're really halfway. It's interesting that I think like there's just like transitioning going on. So we're just looking at the transitioning energy, the shifting energies that are going on now. Yep. Six of Wands, Two of Swords, Two of Wands. Okay. I think, okay, this is how I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do 9 cards. In the middle is the energy, the counterpart energy between the divine and divine feminine. I'm gonna pull cards for the divine feminine now. King of Cups reversed. That's interesting. Queen of Cups. That is definitely counterpart energy. And the last one, Two of Pentacles. Wow, so many twos, guys. Only the Two of Cups is missing. And that is interesting because I actually did pull Two of Cups today for the Instagram daily pull that I haven't posted yet. That is very interesting. I'm curious to see if it will show up. Okay, and then I'm going to pull cards for the divine masculine. 3 cards. Yeah. Page of Swords. Also reversed. Page of Pentacles. That's a lot of young energy. Oh my god, Two of Cups. I don't think I've ever had this in a spread that of each suit the same card shows up. And except for the Page of Swords, they're all upright. Oh wait, that's the cups. Wait, all the twos are upright. So it's major balancing energy. You may feel like there are a lot of decisions going on, and that's apparently in all spectrums of your life, in your mind, in your action, how you spend your time and energy, with who and how, and emotional, like what are you feeling, how are you feeling, and who are you sharing it with. Wow, this, I've never seen this. This is major. Twos are big though. I've been seeing 2 and 222 and 2222, especially actually 2222. I've been seeing that a lot. And this morning when I was drinking coffee, I realized that across the street where I live, there are these apartments, and I guess there are 4 apartments that are all sharing the same building, because I saw 4 times 22, and it just seems to be an indication of 2, 2, 2, 2. Just a major synchronicity. I just wanna share it. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna go to, this is like a mind, heart, spirit kind of reading. And in the mind, there's a lot of upside down, reversed energy. We have the King of Cups, Six of Wands, and the Page of Swords. They're all upside down, they're all reversed. I think this is for the Divine Feminine. This is like a mature, emotional energy, King of Cups. And it's so cool that the Queen of Cups is here as well, right? Anyway, this is a mature energy, but it seems to be the Divine Feminine doesn't perceive it in such a way. But I think it's there. I actually feel like the Divine Masculine may have matured, but this is not how the Divine Feminine perceives him. And then for the Divine Masculine, he is holding a Page of Swords. I actually think this is what he has let go, where he has been maybe more very focused on the mind, maybe with a disregard to what's going on physically, emotionally. This is what he's letting go, because he's stepping into this energy, and that's major. It has been potential for him all along, but he didn't recognize that. And there's a victory energy with Six of Wands, but it's upside down. And I think this is the energy that both the masculine and the feminine have both gone through major healing. They are not anymore what they were before. Maybe the last time that actually the Divine Feminine and the Masculine actually have encountered each other, actually have seen each other like physically on a 3D level. But they don't recognize one another, it seems like, for the success, for the growth that they have made. Also, the fact that this king is upside down at the feminine side in her mind, this is both how she perceives him, but it's also maybe the last bit of actually the Divine Feminine really calling in her divine femininity and sitting in her feelings. Somehow it's not fully integrated, at least not in her mind. And then going to the heart space is the Queen of Cups. So there's another and the Page of Pentacles. And again, there is like an imbalance. So there may be like a maturity balance, there may be a soul growth difference, there may be an age difference. And then something is not seen. And this card is in the middle. I definitely feel like that's like the center energy. Something is not seen out of a defensive stance. So we're definitely, and we have the power to take that blindfold off ourselves, and then when we take off the blindfold, we may see that we don't need to defend each other, or ourselves. I mean, we don't need to defend ourselves against one another. It's very mental energy. So this is like, this is how we perceive the world. This is how we project the world. This is where we may hold on to the past, and be that with a filter of the past, we are currently, whenever, like in the moment, this is how we're looking at the world, and this is how we cannot recognize the other for the progress that perhaps has been made. So it maybe looks like the progress for the Divine Masculine has actually gone from the Page of Swords to Page of Pentacles, and he has the potential in the mind's eye of the Divine Feminine to be the King of Cups. And it seems to be what the divine masculine within the divine feminine, what is the energy from that is, okay, sorry. The distorted masculine energy that is not fully healed and integrated within the divine feminine is reflected in how the divine masculine is manifesting in her life. So you may be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to this one. You may be seeing this king and the potential, and maybe even think like, oh, if he only was, if he only were, if he would only change this. But this needs to be changed within yourself. And one of the things that need to be changed within yourself is taking off that blindfold that is blinding you for what is right in front of you. And because you may be hurt by the divine masculine in the past, you may feel a need to be defensive, and like because you're looking through those glasses, you're projecting that reality onto him, although it may not be there. And then going back from the Page of Swords, like this may also like the imbalanced, untrained mind, in a way, seem to have moved to more like a pentacle energy, where he, in his heart space, is working on stability in his life, and maybe feels like he is not enough. But it is very sincere. Like it may be that there has been like a awakening energy, and you know, outwardly it may still look like the divine masculine didn't make any progress, but the place from where he's operating is no longer this Page of Swords. Wow, I've never done a reading like this, and I feel like I'm going all over the place. Matured emotionally, mentally, aligned. And I think, like, you know, it's even like this blinding energy. They both have made progress, but they don't recognize it from one another, and they cannot see, like, they can't see the value of the work that they have done already. And Two of Wands. Here we're going to the three remaining twos. So the Two of Wands, the divine masculine, divine feminine, seem to be on a crossroads. Like they can go either way. And I feel like one path is a lot more satisfying than the other one. This one is a fulfillment, and this one is like still working on your own fulfillment, trying to balance. Like this is still learning how to set boundaries for yourself in relationship with others, and this is where things are. This is like a interdependent relationship. This is where you both filled up your own cup, and you are not responsible for one another's cup. Yours, like this seems like this is like balance. And that's interesting because this is in the soul space of the divine masculine. And in the soul space of the divine feminine, there is still like, am I going to spend my time and energy in this immature masculine if he would only change? And really, like, she really, the only thing she really needs to do is fill her own cup. It looks like that the divine masculine is doing that already. Like, and he seems to be in a kind of humble space there as well, like a beginner's mindset. At heart, divine feminine, I think she is afraid. Like, although she is now in this Queen of Cups energy, I think she's still afraid that there will be an imbalance between the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. This is in her soul. It feels like the divine feminine is a lot more on this crossroads than the divine masculine. The divine masculine really seems to be, you know, like, in the community it has been said that the divine feminine is kind of leading the way, and I feel the roles leading the way in ascension, and needs divine feminine need to hold space for divine masculine, and I almost feel like the roles are turning around, where the divine masculine is kind of asked to hold space and be patient, while he is in a very patient space, where he just slowly but steadily working on filling his own cup. And maybe he already always did that, but now it's coming from a lot more grounded space. And yeah, I really like it. The divine feminine knows it. She knows it. She feels it. She feels this cup as well. But I think she feels there is an opportunity to choose a different timeline. She can repeat the karmic lesson. She goes back to this, or she chooses this. And this is the same for the divine masculine, of course. I think why I'm confusing myself, because I'm trying to at the same time kind of translate what's going on, like, on a personal level, because this is all happening within us, like, for the collective, and at the same time you see it in your life, you'll see it reflected. And of course there's still energies, and I'm saying he and her, but it's all energies. So even when I'm saying King of Cups, it can be a woman, right? So that's like I already said, that King of Cups reversed is the distorted or imbalanced masculine energy within ourselves, whether you're a man or a woman, or however you identify. But yeah, the fact that this victory is not recognized, is not seen, because we're too defensive to recognize our own growth and the growth within the other. And we're on a crossroads. I feel like there's the time to either tear up an old contract and renew it, or just choose a whole new contract at all. And I feel like there's still this tendency to, or at least there is the fear, there is the fear of repeating the old same mistake, and that fear is resulting in the Two of Swords energy, where you are blinded for what is currently here. And what is currently here is a Queen of Cups that needs to heal her old limiting, I guess negative self talk. She really needs to do some healing, and I made a healing video today as well, so you can have a look at that as well if you haven't looked at it yet. And I think that the divine masculine seems to be fine. You know, it's not. There's still growth and maturing to do, but he seems to be in a humble space. Shall I do? Just gonna pull some last messages for the divine overall energy for the counterpart energies between divine feminine and divine masculine. What is... Okay, yeah, that's doubt. Okay, clear. That's confirmation. I release the need to know all the answers. That's also to trust whatever is coming up for you is what needs to happen right now. Also, that means that you re-engage in an old relationship or in a new relationship and you get hurt, that was also meant to be, because you will learn from it. And maybe just see, oh, okay, I guess I made that old mistake again, and then you'll be more aware of it next time. Yeah, I really feel like it's don't let yourself it's kind of a standstill, right? To be in that doubt. You're not doing anything, so nothing is happening, and no wonder that you feel stagnant. But instead of starting that whole train of thought of negative self-talk, recognize it as your opportunity to heal. And you're nudged to choose anyway. Either yes or no, either left or right. Make a choice and learn from whatever happens. And maybe it's the right choice right away, and you'll be in a very, very good spot. But I feel like, it feels like testing ground before graduation. And it's, I think it's also a little bit like, it's okay to be hurt. There will be better, there's this energy, right? And it may be, and may need to take some trial and error before you get here. So I just mean start dating. That's a message to myself. And then some, let's do another activation card. So funny, because it really seems to be mirroring each other, where the divine feminine has this mature energies of the king and the queen of cups, and then she has the karmic dance in the soul space, whereas the divine masculine has two pages in the mind and heart space, but in the soul he's so balanced. Like he's already trusting. And that's why I guess, like, where the divine masculine is already trusting is why he's asked to hold space and not to press onwards and force action, but hold space for the divine feminine to move beyond the doubt and really trust. Okay, energy for the divine feminine. That's funny. Relationships and guilt is coming out both. I thought it was one, but then guilt peeked out. Yeah, so it's really the divine feminine has to heal guilt, feelings of guilt around relationships. Most likely where she feels like she has shortcomings in regards of relationships, perhaps where also like where she has let her own boundaries be overstepped, and at the same time also be aware where she may have been oblivious, ignorant of, or where she has overstepped the boundaries of the other. That is what needs to be healed. And that is also like, she's just unsure. Can I do this now? Can I do this now? It's new. And the divine masculine part of her knows that it's okay. I'm just learning this. This is new to me, to be vulnerable like this. And then a card for divine masculine. Whoa! That's too many. Just like Water Baby calls this card from it. So many cards come out. Card for Divine Masculine. Pride. Oh, that's so beautiful. And I really like, I need to look up how this bird is called. I don't know. In Dutch it's pauw, and there's a saying, so trots als een pauw, like be proud like a bird like this. And pride. So and I think it's a kind of pride without, it's not an egoic pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Yeah, this is unity consciousness. So this is also like pride of the transition, like recognizing this. I think that it needs to be healed because the masculine made that transition, and although he's moving forward like steadily and with trust, I think there, even for the divine masculine himself, he can even it may feel like a minor transformation. It's actually huge. It's like a 180-degree change, right? From mind to earth, from air to earth, operating from that place into Two of Cups. So I think there is some, there's some softness. Be loving towards yourself. Be loving to who you are. You don't no longer need to operate and prove yourself any longer. Just be proud of recognizing that and standing in your truth in that way. Yeah, so this is for all. So we need to kind of recognize how far we've come, recognize how much we've grown, the progress that has already been made, although not perfect, and also be okay with the mistakes that we're gonna make from now on, and know that every mistake is supposed to be made and is a learning opportunity and another opportunity to keep, like a reminder to keep choosing for yourself and to remain in your own integrity. Okay, last message, just to close it off. I just want to see like what the Sacred Rebel deck has to say, because it has been looking at me. Too many. I know you want to speak. Closing message for Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. Last message for Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. This one. What you want wants you. What you want wants you. Choose it. Recognize it. Don't be afraid to be heard. You may get heard. I keep repeating that too much, I feel like. What you want wants you. It's time to let your guard down. Let those swords fall down, and then you can see a lot better what is available for you. And that's also like what wants you. That's really that divine feminine energy that is invited within us right now. That's why we are caring for ourselves and practicing self-love, in order to be able to receive that from another when it arrives, because then we can believe that it actually wants us instead of blinding ourselves for what is there for us. Wow, that was a lot of us. I'm gonna read this. I do 40-minute videos. 16. Do you dare to believe that what you want is also wanting you? The genuine desires of your heart are the sacred purpose of the soul, swathed in pleasure. Yet, if you have been shamed, judged for, made to feel guilt over, or denied your natural desires or pleasures in any way, you may have developed a very tricky and complicated relationship with the yearnings of your heart. We often learn to distrust our own desires and come to believe that they are something to be overcome or avoided. Yeah, this is like the pleasing of other people and numbing our own feelings. We may even try to want second best, disbelieving that we are worthy of our first choice and what we really genuinely want and would fulfill us deeply. Perhaps we have conditioned ourselves to believe that getting what we want is for others, not us. This oracle comes with a healing message for you. First, trust in what you truly want, not the substitutions and make-dos, but what would truly bring a sense of passionate, playful purpose and fulfillment to your life. You might not know anything more than I want to sing, or I want to write, or I want to help animals, or I want to paint. Start with what you know and hold it in your heart as you do the healing process below. I'm not going to read that healing process below. If you genuinely do not know what your heart wants, you will very much enjoy the process of exploring your desires, by making gentle and persistent inquiries of yourself. Ask yourself what it is that truly moves you. Give this matter consistent attention without forcing a response. Your answers may come in a sudden flood or slowly over time. This oracle brings you the message that whether you see it coming or not, your desire is already on its way to you. It is closer than you think, and soon you will be able to see it, touch it, feel it, and enjoy it. You will then become inspired for your next manifestations based on the true desires of your heart. Yeah, so I just want to add, because I forgot to say it, this message is for you also if you're single. Not only if you're single, also if you are in an existence relationship. So this maybe there's a stagnant moment in your relationship. Maybe you're even doubting whether you should stay or go. I think this can go. You can either transform the existing relationship, renew that contract, or maybe it is time to really follow your heart, and maybe it means that the existing relationship does no longer fit in there. But it's very important to speak your truth. Don't stay out of guilt. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you, and wish you the best, wish you a wonderful day, and see you soon, hopefully.